the company has divested part of its holdings in its Italian subsidiary, Titagarh Firema. The government of Italy has acquired 30% in the entity for 10 million euros. And UAE's PE firm, Hawkeye, has put in 4.5 million euros for another 14% stake. With this divestment, Titagarh now would be holding, its holding would be down to 49.7%. But why do this and what's the rationale? Umesh Chowdhary is Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer at the company. He's joining us to take some questions. Titagarh, of course, has done phenomenally well. The stock price is up 60-70% this year so far. Umesh, great to have you on the program. Thank you very much. Could you tell us the reasons for this divestment of stake? Just some background. How much have you invested in this entity so far, and why do this now?
So good morning. So it's a very interesting development because it's a sovereign entering into a private sector foreign company. The Italian subsidiary is the company that we acquired in 2015, and we ran into some kind of headwinds because of the COVID and some legacy contracts. But the company is now turning around, and the very fact that the government of Italy has come in as an equity stakeholder would give us a lot of support, strategic support, because most of the client base of that company is the Italian government itself. So I'm told that we are a single-digit company in terms of number of companies that the Italian investment agency has invested into. So it's not a very regular kind of a feature. And obviously, they saw this company as strategic, and it's a kind of an endorsement on the venture as well. So from that perspective, it's a very interesting development.
No, we get that, Mr. Chowdhary, and it's good that the investment has come through. But why did you decide to divest stake so soon after you acquired it? Is it because the company is loss-making? And what was the contribution to your overall order book?
So if we look at the overall order book of India right now, we are at about 10,000 odd crores. We issued a press release last night. The order book in Italy is about 500 million euros. So that's about 3,000 crores, 4,000 crores, including framework contracts. So it's basically the investment that was done into Firema was a strategic investment to enable Titagarh Wagon also to enter into the coach market in India. We've been able to accomplish that. We've been able to get the technology transfer. We've been able to get the credentials. And today, Titagarh Wagon on a standalone basis is doing both freight wagons and coaches. So it makes sense because the geographies are completely different. The ways of operations are different. The scales are different. So two companies have to work on an independent basis. In order to reach its potential, we believe that having the government on board as an equity partner would really enable us to reach the potential that Titagarh Firema has to offer. It's difficult for a foreign company to be owning a company in Europe, in Italy, 100%, and be able to reach that potential. So this was in sum and substance the rationale for.
Got it. Umesh, the Italian company basically is it makes rolling stock, but passenger coaches, right? That's
right.
And that's the technology you're using here in India as well now.
So we've already been able to complete the transfer of manufacturing with the Pune project. So in the Pune project, the first 3 trains came from there. 31 trains are being produced entirely in India, which have already started being supplied.
Okay, could you give us some sense now, overall, since we're running into market opening, on what the overall business is looking like? How robust is it in terms of existing unexecuted order book, new tenders, etc.? Just some overall idea.
Yeah, so the business is looking very robust. The whole Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan and the Gati Shakti program of the Prime Minister has, propelled the business that we are in, both the freight side and the passenger side. We are on an order book of 10,000 odd crores in India with the last year's revenue of 1,500 crores. So if you look at the order book is quite high, but we have to execute this over the next 3 years. There are tenders worth thousands of crores in the pipeline. So there is a very strong order book pipeline that is existing today.
So this 15 million euros, what are you going to use it for?
It's going to be for stabilizing and growth of the company. So we are planning to increase the production in Italy to 20 coaches per month. Now that is at about 7 coaches a month. And this money will help us to get to about 20 coaches a month in the next 2 to 3 years.